Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with that guy lols on GTA 5. This at the very beginning of a stunt race. Starts from pole, manages to make a fairly nice kind of breakaway. Unfortunately, the rest of the field don't want to play nicely as they head up towards a jump, gets taken out by another car. Thing is, Karma has seen this and decides that the red vehicle shall win this particular fight. It's some of the best. Unfortunately, poor purple car gets caught up, but that is some of the best Karma we've seen for a while. As Spice Doggo on GTA 5 trying to do a jump onto the rooftops doesn't quite make it. A character does, however. The bike is not so much. The player gets a hell of a catapult out of all of that, unfortunately not really landing anywhere. So that's surviving that without taking barely any damage. Not quite sure how that one works, because that was quite the flight. Yeah, bike managed to get kind of wedged. I guess the bike got wedged in down here. They couldn't decide where to put the players. They just flung them up into the air and well clear of the construction site. Now, TMDC Hyper is up next, still sticking with GTA 5. Now, this is during a stream race, one of the community-built circuits that we have. A pretty mad circuit, absolutely bonkers circuit. However, one particular corner caught out quite a lot of vehicles. Yes, hugging the inside too tightly. Here there was a small light that just pokes through the stunt track. And, well, it has quite a spectacular effect on the vehicles. Purple car managing to go for a very, very big tumble. Not the only one getting caught out by this. Mustang Bugatti, a little different position in the field. Watch ahead as the orange car goes to the inside to try and make an overtake. It's an even higher flip for that. Almost cleared the barrier. Turns out that particular part of the circuit was quite dangerous. Shadow Force, learning what happens when the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and in GTA 5 terms, it's glitchy physics and everything goes to space. Yep, the ramp car versus ramp truck ends up with, I say no real winners, no, us as the audience are winners as everything just kind of glitches around and flies about. Shadowwara up next on Forza Motorsport 7, racing the V8 supercars at Long Beach. Now, I love the cars, I love the track. It is quite the busy area going towards Turn 1, trying to find where is the best place to put the car. The player tries to get across the inside, gets clipped by an AI car, goes for 2 spins, pings it back around, and as all the AIs are busy stacking up on the outside, manages to make up positions. So, I mean, well done. Well done indeed. Not normally how that crash goes. G-Surfer up next on Horizon 4, racing the Metro. Now, the Metro is notoriously twitchy. Times can be difficult to build. This particular one, though, on a slightly damp surface, as a new party piece. No curbs required. It'll just fall over. Yeah. That's not quite what I would have been expecting at that particular corner. It's not even like it's the nastiest of corners. It's just, yeah, the car just can't stay on its wheels. Nuts up next on Horizon 4, just loaded back in from a race when possessed Vandura decides that the GTO should be going in this direction. But I say for what I don't quite know. I don't quite know why the GTO is supposed to be over here, but the Vandura is quite insistent. And of course, you know, the Vandura, that is just a laggy, weird, moving car. You couldn't even drive a Vandura in that way if you tried, but there we go. Nerdy Car Dragon on GT Sport up next, playing against some of the AIs, some of the single-player stuff here. Coming down the front straight at Suzuka, has a little bit more speed in the Lexus, will actually get the pass done long before they get to the corner. Fairly normal pass. However, towards Turn 1 is perhaps a little cautious under brakes. The AI has decided, nope, we're having none of that, and wipes the player car out. Not quite the most spectacular takeout, but it is enough. Sneaky dive bombing going on right there from the AI. Certainly enough to ruin a race. A much cleaner overtake comes from Sick Raptor on Flat Out 4. So, start of the race, everything is quite manic, as you would imagine. Plenty of bumping and scraping of positions. We head towards his next corner. Runs a little wide, clips the wall, goes for a roll over the fellow opponents. That's a hell of an overtake attempt right there. A TSG Azenturi on Project Cars 2 with a slightly less successful rollover, shall we say. Sonoma pushing a little too hard in the Ford GT40, clips the wall, and that's going to be a 3-barrel roll, a triple barrel roll, I think, in all of that. Normally when you hit that wall, you have a crash. It's not a good wall to hit. It doesn't normally send your car for a big tumble. But there we go. Unofficial Gaming on Grid 2 has managed to have, well, the track surface is quite broken. There is apparently no grip and the AIs are derping around all over the place. There's a spinny Golf. A couple of other cars don't really have very much control. There's a spinny something else in the tunnel. But the Focus that we're driving here is not having the best of times. But yeah, everyone cannot deal with whatever is going on here. And the AI solution to problems with grip in this instance is to just go flat out and spin around like a lunatic. You're never quite sure when they're going to try and move, and that's what was Alfa Romeo of some description, Giulietta, I think, trying to get going and crabbing it as well. Basically, everything is very broken in this race. Everything is very, very broken in this race. Also, issues for Flipto 2 on Automobilista. Yep, that's some AI cars having some big... I presume we're riding on board with the player here. Yeah, AI cars get a little bit of a twitch. I don't know whether it damaged the front wing enough so that we have like a backflip blowover crash for the... I think they're kart vehicles on this, if I'm correct. Yeah, they kind of get connected, and that's not what you want. Especially not following that, Christ. Caden Katz on Assetto Corsa. He's at Bathurst, trying to get away with a little bit of a sneaky shortcut line. Doesn't work. Big crash for the CTR Yellowbird. Now, that is not unusual in itself. If you do silly things at Bathurst, you have a big crash. And as you can see, as the car tries to set off, well, it's got a buckled wheel. Now, this also does happen on Assetto Corsa. We've had various vehicles have this issue, they have a big crash and the wheel gets stuck at a silly angle. Now, normally when the wheel gets stuck at a silly angle, it glitches the car around, you know, all over the place. The car drives around in circles, flies around. In this particular instance, the rough is surprisingly still moving. I mean, the rough is still making... It doesn't turn particularly well, that is true, but it is considerably more controllable than I would have expected from a car having one of its rear wheels at a full, 90 degrees and still spinning. I mean, it's not pristine handling conditions, however, it was working. Was being the optimum word, because eventually the game decides, nope, you know what, that's not right. You shall go to space and then you shall fall through the floor. So it turns out didn't quite get away with that one as much. Surprised it drove for as long as it did. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. However, that will be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.